here that's taking over a bit of the conversation, but I actually think that was just one of many straws that eventually broke the camel's back. Now, I'm wondering, I don't know if she's going to join Rumble or not. That would be cool. By the way, I live stream every single day at 5:30 Eastern, Monday through Friday there. And I'll leave a link in the description down below. I would love it. I'm not telling you to leave whatever platform you're watching me on, but it would be awesome if you watched me on Rumble live every day. So you see Candace Owens has joined Locals. So I suspect this may have been happening for a little while because it takes a minute to get a custom landing page like that. You see Candace Owens not necessarily spilling any tea here, literally retweeting Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended the relationship. There's a very strong possibility here that this was mutual. She then responds and says, "The rumors are true, I'm finally free," which that to me would lend credence to she wanted out anyway. If you would like to support my work, you can head on over to CandaceOwens.com where you'll be directed to my Locals page, or you can give a gift at GoCandace.com. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if it's loading. Oh, it's just a straight donation page. There will be many announcements in the weeks to come. And then she's got like, you know, America first. Look, how do we get here? Well, I think there are many things that the Daily Wire that she covered under the Daily Wire umbrella that they didn't like. I'm not saying whether or not I agree with them or whether or not I disagree with them, but I do think that they are things that bothered the higher ups at Daily Wire. It starts with, of course, bringing on Kanye West. Then, of course, for obvious reasons, his comments on Jewish people and the people that own the Daily Wire, obviously being in direct conflict with that. Then she had a spirited defense of the Tate brothers multiple times, which has sown a lot of discontent. My opinion is, look, I'm not going to trust, cut up videos from, people posting on Twitter. These guys deserve their day in court, just like anyone else, and they deserve a fair trial. That's my opinion. The waters are so muddy, it's difficult to know exactly what to believe. But certainly, the Daily Wire did not like that. I can tell you that much pretty definitively. Then, this is pretty much in order. Then, obviously, October 7th happens, and that is when essentially the boiling point began, I think, with the very public spat between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, in which Ben outright said publicly, "You're free to quit anytime." My suspicion is that Candace Owens wanted out of this contract, felt like she had been out-earning it, outperforming it. So she probably purposely picked topics that she knew would piss off her leadership. I don't know that for a fact, but I've been in this game over 10 years. I know the way the contracts work at the Daily Wire. I know the way they work at the Blaze and all these other places. I've been seeing contracts from all of them. And this is exactly what I would do, right? Get fired so they have to pay you out. That's essentially it, right? You sign some, I don't know what Daily Wire probably paid her, many millions of dollars. She probably thought she was worth more than that. So what's the only solution is to get fired. So that day happens. Ben is caught on tape essentially disparaging Candace Owens, which he's allowed to do, but he called her despicable, or comments despicable, simply because she didn't immediately get in line and say, what many people accuse Ben of as being Israel first. I've seen that. I've seen, I'm not Jewish. I know Jewish people, but they aren't practicing for the most part, as far as I know. And they don't identify as their whole personality as that, like Ben Shapiro does. But certainly Ben Shapiro has come under fair criticism about, his warmongering and his, kind of Israel first point of view. So when Candace Owens spoke up against that, you knew that was it. The fuse was lit. So Ben Shapiro looked like maybe he had a few white wine spritzers, with speaking at some sort of event, called her comments about it despicable. Then they get in a very public argument on Twitter where Ben Candace Owens, hey, you're free to quit. It was at that moment you knew. And then Candace Owens went and did this interview with Tucker Carlson. And in that interview, it became pretty clear to me that she wanted out at the Daily Wire, and she was 100% willing.
What the fuck's going on here?
To burn those bridges. And that's who Candace Owens is. She is a bridge burner. She is a, divisive figure. Again, I think that even if I don't agree with everything she said or done, I can honestly say she is relatively fearless in the things she says, I would think. She says what she's going to say. You may not like it, but it is, I at least respect that. So when you look at the reactions on both sides, I'm going to guess that she's going to, here's my insider point of view. I think it is financially best for Candace Owens to not dispel any rumors that she may have been wanting out, because that is how she maximizes people supporting her efforts with locals or anywhere else. And I understand that. I think it's maximally interesting, or a maximal benefit to the Daily Wire to not say, hey, we fired her, simply saying we're no longer working with her. I do think it's particularly interesting timing. This firing comes moments after the ADL went directly after Candace Owens for the crime of somebody endorsing her opinions or agreeing with her opinions. It wasn't anything that Candace said. It was that the ADL came out and said, oh my God, this evil person is praising Candace Owens. It's hardly surprising, but it does set off alarm bells. When bigoted people come together and push this agenda, it adds fuel to the fire. This is the ADL sharing, of course, a Media Matters hit piece. And of course, this is the power of the ADL, right? Hundreds of millions of donor dollars. This hit piece got just 590 likes. That's it. And it got quote tweeted into oblivion. Of course, they disable replies because they know everyone in the replies would be dunking on them. Candace Owens says specifically that I don't know them, but you already know that. What I do know is that everyone can see that what you guys are doing to me. Your pattern is well established and the world is waking up to it. My crime is having stood up for myself against your network of smears. Within 24 hours of this ADL tweet, Candace Owens and the Daily Wire had parted ways. So within 24 hours of the ADL saying this, now, did they agree on this weeks, months, years ago? I don't know, but the timing certainly seems very suspicious. It seems like, to me, if anything, this was the straw that broke Camel's back. I think we can all agree on that. It certainly wasn't just the ADL hit piece, but it was everything that happened before that. And it was also probably the likelihood that Candace Owens wanted out. She never said so publicly because she probably had a multi-million-dollar contract with the Daily Wire that would be forfeit if she had, or if she had, publicly acknowledged that. My suspicion is that she would want to go to Tucker Carlson's network or go out, forge out on her own, which it seems to me that now, if you look at Twitter, going out on her own, she tweeted out, this is my personal YouTube page. I'll be bringing back the show after a brief hiatus. Take a moment to subscribe to this new channel. If you look at the channel, what's interesting is it has 1.5 million subs, and she uploaded a video 3 weeks ago that only has 16,000 views, which is weird. But before that, her views, I suspect her views will be, Candace Owens will almost certainly maximize this drama because she's very, very good at that. And I suspect she'll pass 2 million subs by the end of the weekend. She'll be getting 400,000 views on her own on YouTube. But without the protection of Daily Wire, which they do provide protection and run interference with YouTube censors. We saw this with Matt Walsh. So I noticed she joined Locals. I'm hoping she brings her show to Rumble. I hope she live streams on Rumble. Obviously, me being, me being selfish, me being, that would be in Rumble's best interest. But anyway, also noticing that Crowder is trending, and a lot of people owe Crowder an apology over the DW saga. Candace Owens is now even more free to go hard on exposing various industries. How long until Candace Owens and Steven Crowder try to take down DW? I don't think Steven Crowder is going to want anything to do with Candace Owens after the things that she said about him, true or not. You wonder if Candace Owens will take back all the stuff she said about Steven Crowder when he told the Daily Wire to F off, all this kind of stuff. So it's going to be pretty interesting how this shakes out. I suspect we're going to have some pretty spicy news and tea over the next couple of weeks, maybe, if Candace's history is, anything like what I can expect. But it's be interesting. All I can say is wherever you're watching this video, please do subscribe and follow down below, and we'll talk to you again really soon.
Don't worry about it, you'll be alright. We got you. Get another one? Have to elbow to the face or look like an asshole? That's what, just let her hang out for a sec. Take a picture. Just breathe.
If while you were walking through the parking lot of an apartment complex, you mag dumped into a vehicle simply because you said you heard what sounded like a gunshot, we know what would happen. You would be 5150'd, go straight to jail, and probably wouldn't be able to possess a weapon for the rest of your life. Former deputy for the Okaloosa Sheriff's Department in Florida, Jesse Hernandez, has still not been charged with any crimes over the incident he caused on November 12, 2023, when he blamed a falling acorn for scaring him so bad that he made the decision to mag dump in his patrol cruiser, which contained a soon-to-be millionaire, Marquise Jackson. Determined not to let this story disappear from the collective minds of the masses, Jackson's lawyers held a press conference yesterday.
My name is DeWitt Lacey. I am an attorney with the law firm of Burris, Nissentown, Curry, and Lacey. And we are here today to talk about what happened to Marquise Jackson, who's standing here with me with his family, by way of some Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department officers or deputies. Now I'll say this, folks. There's been a lot of comical comments about what happened. and comments about the initial videos that had been released by law enforcement, right? The nature of the officer's mistake, their reaction, and what has been told to law enforcement, or what has been told by law enforcement to the public, is that everything's okay, right? The officer who made this horrible mistake, the one officer, they said, has been now terminated or resigned, and all is well. Marquise was not hit by any of the dozens of rounds that were fired into that vehicle, so we should all be okay and go home.
I'll be right back. Nobody's here.
But that isn't the truth. That is not the truth. If that were the truth, I ask you this. I want you to go talk to the psychologists who see our war veterans. Even though some of them may have not been struck or hit by bullet fire, they still have a lot of psychological issues and turmoil and trauma from those wars, from those engagements. If we think that that is okay, I would say talk to the refugees and or folks who come here from war-torn countries. Though they may have not been shot themselves, they still bear the wounds of the psychological trauma of being involved in this type of violence. You know, the difference is Marquise does not live in a war-torn country, so we believe. Marquise did not participate in some type of civil unrest in a country that's experiencing a lot of turmoil. He's right here in Fort Walton. And he had all these rounds fired at him. And of course, there's trauma that comes with that. Luckily, fortunately, he survived miraculously. You're covered. You are covered, brother. Miraculously, he survived. And he's here to talk about it today, okay? And he's got a statement he wants to tell you all. What we also will be doing today is releasing some videos of more shots that were fired at Marquise when he was handcuffed in the back of the car, already had been searched, had not committed any crimes. The officers told Marquise that in order for them to give him relief, that is to get him out of the situation where he was being fired at while handcuffed in the back of his patrol car, that he had to sit up and allow them to shoot rifles around his silhouette to knock out the windows so they could see inside. Apparently around here, you can't see inside officers' glass windows. I don't know, maybe they have tinted windows. It sounds ridiculous, but even more frightening is the aspect of using a human for target practice. That is unwarranted, it is unconstitutional. And we are going to be filing a claim for damages, soon to be followed by a lawsuit, because of what happened to Marquise. And I know Marquise has some words that he wants to share with you right now. I want to give him that opportunity. Marquise?
I want to start off by thanking God for keeping me here with my family and friends, because there was a chance that I could have died from each bullet that was shot at me. On November 12th, my life changed forever. I haven't been the same since. Will I ever have a peace of mind again? Imagine being shot at a tremendous amount of times while handcuffed in the backseat of a cop car by the ones we call to protect our community. My life flashed in front of my eyes as I hear gunshots and feel bullets going across my face. I instantly ducked my head while shattered glass fell on top of me. I began to pray, asking God to protect me, as shots still coming from different directions. After many rounds were fired, there was a slight break. Officers then told me to put my hands in the air and sit up straight. I knew I couldn't put my hands in the air because I was handcuffed, and I couldn't sit up straight because they were aiming at my head. I thought my life was over. I sat up straight looking around, and I see many guns aiming at me. I then left it up to God again as I faced forward, closing my eyes, asking for help. Then they began shooting again. I found a way to rest my hands on the shattered window area to prove I haven't done anything wrong. Moments later, they swarmed the car searching for weapons. There was nothing found. I look around, I see my parents crying. I only can imagine how much pain that brought them, not knowing if their firstborn was either dead or alive. Picture your children in my situation. How would you feel? I was then held in a cell for hours with nobody knowing anything. After them almost taking my life for no reason, I could only think of the worst. I thought I was never coming home. Eventually, an officer came in the cell and told me I was free to go with no charges. This was the scariest day of my life. I would never call 911 again for emergency after this. Oklahoma County Sheriff Department caused so much pain, not only to me and my family, but different families across the world. I deal with flashbacks and nightmares every day. I wish I can get this image out of my head. It has really taken over my mental. As I continue trying to live my normal life, being a part of the inDOC Foundation, giving back to different communities and coaching the youth, I deal with constant reminders of this traumatic situation. I pray that one day I'll again be myself. Last but not least, I want to thank everyone who was standing with me during this difficult time. I love y'all and always remember Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future.
Well, God's definitely going to prosper him. This would be a slam dunk case even for the least seasoned attorney. He committed no crime, was searched for weapons, locked in a patrol car with his hands cuffed behind his back, and then ruthlessly shot at for no frickin' reason.
My name is Julia Quesada. I'm an attorney with Burris, Niesenbaum, Curry, and Lacey. It is not acceptable that these officers, deputies, and their department is calling this a mistake. It is not okay to call it a mistake. There is no mistake. There was no mistake that Marquise was unarmed. There's no mistake that he had already been searched. There's no mistake that he was already handcuffed in the back of a patrol car when these deputies opened fire. And there's no mistake that the department hasn't released all of the footage or the information related to the shooting. This is not okay. The deputy that shot, that said that he heard an acorn or after the fact that that's a mistake, that's not acceptable. He resigned. That's not accountability. The other deputy that was exonerated, that is not accountability. There has been no accountability, there has been no transparency, and there has been no justice. And we demand that. We demand transparency. We demand accountability, and we demand justice. And we stand with Marquise with this.
What's one thing that you want us to share with our viewers? What's the most important thing out of all of this?
I hope you show the videos that we've released today to you that show that these officers were firing rifles into the car. You can hear them tell Marquise, no, you got to sit up so we can shoot around you. This is outrageous, okay? It's outrageous. It doesn't follow any practice or guidelines of law enforcement and or their training. It is wholly unconstitutional, unwarranted, and shouldn't be accepted, not in this community or any community in America. But I hope that you show those videos, and I hope that you ask questions of the law enforcement community around here and the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Department as to why only one officer was reprimanded, right? There was a sergeant on duty who said all of this was okay, who said that it was okay to make Marquise sit up so that they can shoot rifles around his body as a human target. I hope that's what you call it.
And sir, you're calling this a fight for justice. What does that justice look like?
Accountability. And whether that comes in the form of money, whether that comes in the form of further action by the Sheriff's Department against the deputies involved, that's what we want. But it can't be swept under the rug as this is just a harmless event where nobody was injured. You have a family here who was praying for their life. Praying for their life, that their loved one was not hit or injured when he hadn't committed any crime. Yes, we want to clear Marquise's name. He's not a criminal. He's not a monster. I know we're sitting here in Florida and we're some years off from Trayvon Martin or Michael Brown, but it's the same story. And it's this notion that for black folks, young black men, to be seen as monsters, and it's okay to shoot at them like this. Well, it's not. That's not what the law says. It's not what the Constitution says. And we're here to hold folks accountable. And look,
Would this incident have been different if Marquise was white?
that is a question I wish that you would ask the law enforcement community. But I think the rush to judgment shown by the sergeant, there are some allegations that were made at the time, which turned out to be untrue. There was no real investigation by law enforcement except, well, we'll handcuff him and put him in the back. And then somehow, I don't know, maybe they thought you were Jason Bourne or somebody, Mark, who said that he escaped from handcuffs, pulled out a silenced weapon, and started firing from inside the car. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous, and I hope it sounds ridiculous to the public. So that's what we're here for.
The sheriff released a statement earlier this morning saying there are active investigations into all of this. Have you had any contact with those cases that are pending now?
No one has given us a call just yet. I would imagine we'll be hearing from them, and we look forward to working with the law enforcement community to do the right thing. Okay, we look forward. We want to work with law enforcement to help you get it right. And this is an opportunity for us to make sure that we get it right. And we don't have to have division here. We all saw what happened. And not only was it a mistake, it was an egregious mistake. And there has to be some consequences from it.
Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. What do you think should happen to Mr. Hernandez and Sergeant Beth Roberts? If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt or design that you can put on a shirt, hoodie, mug, cell phone case, hat, pillowcase, whatever you want. Become a channel member, but more importantly, know what your rights are and stand for your rights. If you don't flex your rights and use your rights, you will lose them. I'll see you in the next video.
All right, anybody here? Oh, I did miss somebody, and the video ended. Chopper! Dutch cable, I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what's wrong with them. Had to get a new vape. Battery died in my other one. It wouldn't charge anymore. All right, I'm heading over to Costco. I was just seeing if anyone wanted to chat while I was heading down here. See what the wife said. Oh, that was you. Oh. That Columbus video you sent me was nuts, man. Yeah, she was not doing good. She was not doing good. All right, I'm heading over to Costco. All right. All right. Lady behind me anymore? No. So I don't know what happened to it. The old one, just the battery. Hennessy? Oh, send in. Man, she just fucked with the wrong folks, man. I just want to see what's over here. I haven't been over here. Lots of little shops. Headhunters. What's this? Like a staffing company? Oh, sorry. No, it's barber studio and salon. Haas of Beauty, Goodwill donation station, Loan Depot, and physical therapy. Okay. Fucking McDonald's is starting at $15 an hour. First. I'm not sure if that was meth or not. I think it was some of that shit that they were using in Kensington mixed with fentanyl. Whatever that shit is, xylazine. That's the type of movements she had, kind of like those, you know, the zombies in at Kensington. I mean, the extra movements and stuff are concerning. It makes you wonder if there's some kind of neurological issue going on as well. I'm gonna get gas before I go to the Costco.
What's going on, everybody? Soliak here, and I want you to go subscribe to
I don't know.
Press Harder and Broken
I'm sure it's a
System.
combination of a lot of that stuff, you know.
I will leave links to their channels in the description below, and I want you to go over to their channel, subscribe to them, because they're out there where, you know, Dalton and all of these places are. And you know, these are the First Amendment owners. These are the people on the ground where all this chaos is happening, and this is how they respond.
I'll be right back.
These two guys.
Yeah. How's it going?
We have to leave our premises. Whatever meeting is going on is at that door. You cannot be here.
Who are you?
I'm over buildings and grounds. You cannot be here.
You're over.
Public access. Pardon me?
It's public access.
This is not public access. You cannot.
Who told you that?
I'm asking you
Is
to
there a
leave.
sign?
Listen.
Triple stamp, a double stamp. You can't triple stamp, a double stamp, Lord. You can't triple stamp, a double stamp. Lord, Lord.
So you're
I'm not gonna argue.
This
I don't
is
have
a sidewalk.
Sir, I'm asking you to leave.
So you're not telling us to leave. You're
I'm
asking.
asking.
Yeah. Okay, but we're not
Please.
doing anything wrong.
You're not doing anything right either.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
What are you talking about?
Sir.
What?
Sir.
The First Amendment is
Sir,
a right.
sir.
Are you a township?
Are you a township resident?
I'll
Yes
ask
or no?
the
Are you
question
a
around
township?
here.
Oh wait.
Are
Sir,
you on Team Tips?
I'm
Or are you
asking
against
you
Team Tip?
to leave.
I'm asking you
premises.
whose side you're on. Team Tip or against Team Tip? You said you weren't telling us. We're on a public sidewalk. This is literally.
This is private property.
This is public property.
This is.
I'm
I'm
gonna
a
tell you
disabled
something.
veteran with PTSD.
Good
You
for
are
you.
sending
That
me
doesn't
in a
mean
place
anything. I
that is
didn't
not
come to
good
you.
for me.
I
Well, then
didn't
this
come to
isn't the right job for you, buddy.
No wonder he's supposed to pound a week.
Yeah, you drove over here. We were minding our own business.
Yes, right here. We want to make sure that access is clear for Team Tip. Hey, come over here.
We got a problem.
You're the only problem. You're the only problem, dude. You are the only problem. And then you said you're PTSD. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you're going to try to get violent with somebody? I mean, let's just be real. What does it mean that you're PTSD?
Go ahead, Mrs. Scott. Traumatized for son in his passport.
You literally was violent people trying to get order?
What does it mean that you're PTSD and that we're going to trigger you or something? Are you trying to blame us for how you're going to react? That don't fly around here. You know what I mean? You're responsible for how you act. You chose to drive your truck over here. You chose to get far too close to any of us. And as far as I'm concerned, I would prefer to still practice social distancing so you could stay 6 to 10 feet away from me. Was that too much to ask?
I backed up.
I'll back up a little bit too, because I don't want this guy's PTSD to get triggered, because I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's got a weapon in his pocket that he's going to plan on pulling out a weapon and like shooting me. But he brought up the PTSD for a reason. Or is that your personal vehicle?
It would have been easier if you just read the Constitution before trying to do this, before you bumped your head on the First Amendment like you did.
That First Amendment will get you every time. When you try to be tyrannical about it.
The right of the people to peaceably assemble. Maybe you've heard of it.
What's up? Long time no see.
Hey, Jared. Trying to set up a panel with MIDI and Firm in them for later. I'm gonna get with Midwest pretty soon, ask him what the status is on that. It might be tonight, I'm thinking. I don't know if it's tonight. If it's tonight, it's gonna affect date night, but
You know what I mean? There's a public meeting going on here. Okay, there's a news truck right there.
Do you see the news truck?
This is a matter of great
Okay.
public
Do you see
interest.
the public meeting that's going on in there?
Building that you don't seem to realize is public property. Okay? The right of the people to assemble peaceably.
all right, guys.
The right of the people
I'm gonna kill
to
this. Sorry, really wasn't chatty that much. I just wanted to get online a little bit. Jared,
Okay?
love you guys. I will be back on later though on one of my channels.